HIPAA, in certain sense, is very similar, but there are many other things that make it very, very different. First difference is not a regulation that affects every business, but it's a regulation that defines relationships in healthcare domain specifically. So it's a very specific healthcare regulation, and in the B2B specifically space, where the starting points are the healthcare providers called covered entities. So if you are working with, or if you are a covered entity, if you are a healthcare provider, but typically startups are not providers, they are providers of solutions to healthcare providers, right? So if you are a covered entity, or if you are providing solutions to covered entities, you need to comply with HIPAA. Otherwise, you don't need to comply, even though you manage perhaps health data, sensitive data. There are many examples of startups that don't need to be HIPAA compliant in the medical space, in the health space. There are many startups that don't need to comply, but they decide to comply because it's a good practice. It provides trust to their customers. So it's a bit different in that sense. It's from European regulations, but overall it's still a tough regulation to comply with. A lot of very precise compared to GDPR. HIPAA is very precise instructions, policies to comply with. So we assist several companies to solve both, to combine also GDPR and HIPAA to create one system that targets both, that is sufficient both for European and US market.
Right, because there must be quite a big overlap anyway of the requirements, right?
There is a big overlap, yes. There is a big overlap, but still, you know, we know that when then we create policies and procedures, we need to combine the nomenclature, the naming of both. And whenever a company is asked to provide documentation for US or for Europe, that has to be somehow corresponding to what the customers and partners expect. So it's a bit challenging to combine the documentation, but it's possible. There is a huge overlap, yeah.